Small version of me. Okay, guys, I think we're actually on. We're late, but I think we're on. I think I got the screen shared and stuff. Good to go. Market's looking down. Market's looking down like 700 or so this morning. So it could be an entertaining day. You know, we're talking about Greenland and bond yields going up because of that. Something going on in Japan. In the end, we really look into it and act based on what the market's doing, not necessarily worry about the underlying stuff. But coming into this, I feel like maybe we finally go down some today. I mean, it's been a while, and part of me thinks, oh, it's just going to be nonsense, and we're going to rally back. So twisted. I'm planning on more movement both ways. Okay, so it's kind of key thing to do there. Planning on more movement, which can be good. And things always seem to go down faster than they go up. With more volatility, we see things move faster going down. I'm just checking my list here at the same time as we go through this. Okay, and I want to get into real fast the stocks. We got 8 minutes before we open, so into the stocks that are moving this morning. Also make my little notes here. Okay, NVIDIA, we had news this morning, that was down along with some other tech names, but NVIDIA being a leader there. Okay, making NVIDIA 173.87. Just writing this down as I go so I can refer it because it's hard just going off my screen here and trading off my phone when I do this with you guys. Okay, NVIDIA tank, look at that move down there late in the day. All right, so it already started moving. It's even lower than it was, 181.26 looking. So I'm 173.87 for it. And I think that's reasonable given the situation. We also have in the news JB Hunt, which had earnings, JBHT. Waiting on JB Hunt here. Sometimes we're slow as fill in the blank. JB Hunt trading double par. That's 250 cents. I'm 187.13 for it. And I am at 220.07. Even with reading glasses on, it's hard for me to see sometimes. Years of messing up. Micron making a purchase over in Taiwan. I think semiconductor maker of chips or something like that. I forget the specs, but anyway, the stock was looking down a bit after this, just a bit. It might even be up now because Micron seems like it makes a new high every darn day. It is okay. It's down. It's trading 360. It's down a little bit. Okay, I have it 335.14 as my initial purchase, and I like to leg in. Okay, never look to overcommit, and I'm at 380.23 to short it. So still looking for big moves there. 3M had earnings, MMM, which this is how you amaze your friends with your knowledge of various things. 3M used to be Minnesota Mining and Manufacturing. Okay, so I pulled that out of my whatever, but that's what the name used to be, Mini Mining. It's 3M. So earnings day, looking for bigger move here. Trading 161, give or take. I'm looking 144.98 to purchase it, at 171.76 to short it. So looking for kind of a bigger move there. DHI, DH Horton, construction company, also had earnings, or what they consider home builders rather, construction home builders, yeah, yada yada. DHI had earnings, down like 8 points. Thinking 143.96, but I'm also thinking that could be off there. So I'm going to change that because it's coming a lot more since then. It's coming to 147. I don't like that 143 number anymore that I had. It's come off more. I'm going to go with 138.88. Okay, so I'm 138.88 for it now. That's a little more of a comfort zone for me there. I'm going to leave my short where I have it, 171.76. No, that's 3M. What am I doing? Okay, 171.76 is DH Horton. 174.13 is my short in Triple M. So Triple M, I'm at 174.13. DHI, I'm at 171.76. Fastenal, what did Fastenal? Fastenal had earnings as well, FAST. As we're getting closer to the opening, we got 4 minutes left here. So Fastenal, let's look at this chart here. Typically not a big mover, 79 cents worth of range on Friday, looking 41. Fastenal, I'm thinking 37.37 for it for initial purchase. 37.37. I'm at 44.89 to short it. Nothing to add there. And again, looking at my charts, remember I'm using 5-minute charts, and I like it clean. Okay, I don't like indicators because I can see everything better, and that's just me. I don't care what you do if it works for you. Okay, if it's part of your plan to have a dozen indicators on there and that works, by all means do that. Okay, Lululemon in the news this morning. I think it's just news there. And Lulu. Anyhow, the stock is down a bit, looking 197 or so. I'm going to make it 182.08. And this is all scripted off my spreadsheet. Okay, I'm not going to come off things. Might look to do some trades with smaller size in some of these names, but we'll see. JP Morgan had some news. Donald Trump, I think, is looking to sue them. So JP Morgan, we're going to see is a little bit lower here, 305.55. JP Morgan, I'm going to make this morning, just had earnings last week, by the way, too. I'm going to make it 294.02 as the first purchase here, 294.02, which is kind of off the chart there. And I'm at 321.87. So I'm being guarded on both sides here, being careful on the shorts here as well. Excuse me, a little bit of coffee. All right, so I'm being guarded there. A smart thing. And I'm seeing, looking at my screen, I see it's 10 degrees here. I think it's warmer than that. Oh, it's 9 degrees in lovely southern Vermont today. It's garden day. Good day to wear shorts, I think. Go out with some shorts on later. Wow, everybody. USB at earnings, US Bank Corp. Quick look there. And then we can look at some of our RS plays. Not sure how many we have, but check them out too. Yeah, get back to my spreadsheet. Okay, so USB is looking a bit lower, looking 52.74. And again, not a mover, but earnings day. So for a little bit more movement, I had a 52.30. I'm going to come off there. I don't like that. It's moved down as we get closer to the start of the day. I'm going to go 50.74. 50.74 there. Okay. Initially, I was 52.30. I'm making an adjustment here. All right. As far as my short goes, I'm sticking 58.27. All right. Sometimes we slide or move up. So there has to be a necessary adjustment into what's going on. All right. As far as relative strength plays, long or short, I got to adjust my screen here. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Trying to get back to where I was at. Okay, back to my live screen. If I just cover my chart, that's not good. So I can get me out of this. On news today. On news today. Huge move off of that. Still sticking around 307, which where it was pretty much looking initially has been just below 306. U.S. Bank, USB on the earnings this morning. Flipping through. Only all right. Getting back to flat is USB. So had been looking lower. Was looking 52 something. Right? But here it is bouncing right away and got back to flat. Now it's coming off a little. Not not a huge move either way. And again, I was thinking 52.30 initially, but then it was looking down. So I adjusted and I went to 50.74 and I'm at 58.27 to short it. So not particularly close. Before I get into our core stocks here, taking a peek just to see what's moving around. Nothing huge. I mean, I see Micron is still pushing a bit higher. And like I said, I threw in 380.23 offer to short it. Okay, still $5 or so away. So that's where we're at there. Now let's go into the main stocks that I follow. Looking at Apple, waiting on it here. So we're about 10 minutes in. Okay, see at 253 and just down 2 points or so. Was about a buck or so worse. Okay, I'm thinking 242 to purchase it and not 260 to short it. So we'll see. If it sticks its head out one way or the other. This just initial pass throughs on these guys. AI. When we first looked into it this morning, it was opening down, kind of staying down here. I have it as relative strength short, but nothing, not particularly close. Not a big move yet. CEG, and then I'll go right into GEV right after this. All right, nothing yet. Okay, interesting. Not a big move here. So $5 or so there, which is nothing move, but kind of giving it up a little bit. I'm thinking 275.55 to purchase it. So we'll see. And I'm at 325. So spacing it out on purpose because sometimes things get said and we flip. We back around and there's 300. Let's see if it hangs around 300. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens. GEV also expecting a lot of movement today. Was looking down this morning and pops right back up. Wow. Okay. Right to there. 687. It's been as high as 692. I got to get my short out there. 694.16. Okay. Send. Okay. GEV. 694.16. I better find other spots here too. Going through my sheet here. Sorry, it takes a while. Have a better number there? So, was looking down a lot. Really got, as it traded as low as 667 and pop right back up. Wow. I'm going to go 703.06. And I want like a 710, I guess. I got a 714.6. And then I have a 714.63. So that's a little bit imperfect there, but we'll see there. Anyway, I put in the 694.16. The others I have not as of yet. So we'll see there. Okay, so that's GEV and kind of divergent from Constellation Energy again today. Charter had made new lows on Friday. Makes another new low. As far as purchasing it, I'm thinking 179.22, pretty far away both ends there. Back to core, we saw core weave down. Okay, and we're seeing a little bit of a bounce in the market, but nothing huge. Okay, core weave off its worst levels. I'm thinking 85 to purchase it. Carvana, looking for a big move either way here. See if we actually get it. Okay, see, back down to near where it opened. Been as low as just below 431. I'm thinking 403 to purchase it. 403 and change there. First Solar, and we can look at the other solar one. We'll go to Run right after this. See what Run's doing immediately after. First Solar, not a huge move yet. I'm looking for something big after it had poor range on Friday. Sunrun. Okay, down, but not quite as bad. Still below 17 there. Let's look at IBM and then Intel. We can go back to Micron real quick. Okay, IBM below 300. I'm thinking 290.26 here. Got a little bit to go there. Intel. Remember, I have it out as a morning short at 49.54. That's going to be good till 11, and it's creeping up. So that's getting kind of interesting. I'm going to put Intel in just so I don't forget it. And I have it in, and we'll see what happens from there. I'm not going to look for any other prices there yet, but sliding a little. Let's look at our three quantum stocks. IonQ. Okay, off some. I have it 44.69 to purchase it, so I'm pretty far away there. QBTS, D-Wave. Sliding down some, high 26s. I'm thinking 24.45 there. So I'm looking for big. These guys can move. I'm looking for a bigger move here. Okay, Rigetti, RGTI. 24.30s. I'm thinking 21.63 here to purchase, so fair ways away there. Okay, back to our list here. Let's see, MGB failed 400, but trying to get back up there. Okay, so pretty far away on both sides here. A little closer to the short side. I'm thinking 415.80 to short it, so that would be up above, just above some of this stuff. Okay, as we see some attempted rallies from some of these guys. Oracle. Okay, so off some kind of quiet after the first candle. After it's a little bit lower, so not a lot of move there yet. Palantir. Okay, kind of down. No huge move there yet either. Keep track because I do have a relative strength short. Pure Storage. Waiting on. Okay, coming back pretty fast there. After it traded below 70, it's been back over 72. I'm thinking it's a short here, 74.55. So, and pretty far down to purchase it. Won't mention that yet because it's not particular anything yet. Micron, back to Micron just to see because I do have it out there as a short. Okay, getting back up, got back up to 379.90. All right, got up there. Okay, and got close, was getting close. That's why I checked it, but came in and back to my policy. I had to cancel it. I was at 380.23. Thought being, gets this close, pushes up there. Okay, starts to get close and doesn't quite get there. Okay, as it did make a new high, 379.90, but next time gets up, it's going through there. Okay, it's pushing through. All right, so I'm at 382.12 there now, and I just put in my 384.48 too. Okay, so missed out by a bit on the offer at 380.23, and now of course it's down down quite a lot from there. So bummer, good call, but oh well. All right, we just deal, we move on. That's the way it goes. Okay, that's that's fine. There, can deal with that. All right, so I want to continue here. I want to take a look at rocket companies, because that had been looking down a buck this morning from where it went out. It did trade down below 22. I'm looking at purchase it a lot farther down as far as short it. I'm up here to short it, 24.13 to short it. So a ways away on both sides. Want to look Rivian and Tesla. Price things out wide on purpose, and we're not seeing, we're not seeing a huge bounce back with a few exceptions, but or huge move down, continuation down. So we haven't seen much of that. Rivian below 16. Okay, and I'm 1468 for it, so I'm pretty far away there. Still Tesla, as we're a little over 15 minutes in, and I'm with you guys till 11 this morning, after which Trip will be in talking his stuff. All right, Tesla 425 right now, right about where it's looking this morning. Has been a bit lower, has been $2 lower. Tesla, I'm wide, thinking 405 and change for it at 447 and change to short it. So which would be up here. Okay, the other's not even there, but the highs from Friday was thinking there. Okay, let's go back to GEV and see how we did or how we doing here. Checking it out. Okay, we'll still see it's hanging around. Remember, GEV has a tendency to stay around round numbers, 90s, 80s, 70s, those kind of things. All right, so curious, is it going to get me short and then push up to 700, or is it going to get short and come back to 690 number or below 690, which I would prefer, obviously, but we'll see. All right, let's go back to our news stocks before I see look at the leaders. NVIDIA. Okay, right around 180. I'm saying 173.87. So somewhat has my attention. Kind of far away on the short side. JB Hunt with earnings this morning. Not doing it. There have been a lot of times it's had earnings and really been a mover, just not the case so far. I'm not close on either part there. Micron, as we said, made a purchase, and I missed out on my short, and it's back down around 375, so came off right away. Made that new high almost to 380, and then pulled back. That I would have enjoyed. That would have been a nice way to start my day, making $4 or so there. But good call. Pat myself on the back. Big deal. No money. But we move on. Next opportunity. Okay, next. Here we go. All right. Triple M trading 161. Pretty far away, both pieces there. Now 160. GHI. All right, pushing up here. Okay, that's getting interesting. All right, I'm still far away. I'm at 171 and change to short it, but pushing up to the positive side. Okay, so fairly good move here. All right, $9 or so worth of range. So gets my attention. All right, so not doing anything with it yet, but making a little note for my own sake there. So keep an eye on it, obviously. Well, we'll keep an eye on everything, but there, FAST, not particularly close on either part. Lulu. It's down. Lulu. Okay, Lulu pushing back up. All right. Interesting. I'm at 218 to short it. See if it can make some kind of move. Has been a little bit higher. Almost filled the gap there. JP Morgan wasn't particularly exciting before. Still isn't. USB on the earnings. US Bancorp on those earnings. Nice little move back up there. Okay, and I'm at 58.27 to short it, but this, gets my attention, these candles here. Okay, out of character for it, but is an earnings day, so changes things, all right? As we're a little over 20 minutes in, and I'm seeing Micron try to creep up again. Hopefully I can pick it up this time. And now it gets there, okay? Now it's here. All right. My thought, and it goes back to my thought process being it's going right through it, it's getting through it, and it pushes right through to the tune of $1 or so. Excuse me. All right, pushes through to there. Okay. And now I'm looking at about 60s or so cents away off the highs here to try to get it short. My second time. I'm not gonna cancel it yet. All right. So I'm still at 382.12 and I'm at 384.48. All right. So we'll see. Trying to give it a chance here. All right. And I see Intel's popped up. Okay. And I do have my offer in there. Okay. So I'm at 49.54. I better find some other prices here pretty fast. Okay. So Intel's a morning short. And look at that, the way it went up pretty fast there. Okay. In spite of the market being down 1.3%. If we see well, the S&P is not too much. The S&Ps are only down a little bit, but techs are down. Nasdaq's down 1.3%. Dow's down 1.3%. Okay, and other pricing for Intel. I'm going to go a decent 50 there. I'm going to go 5017, which I just put in. Okay, so two offers out there in Intel, 49.54 and 5017. And I want to find one more price here. 5080, but I'm not going to put that in yet. All right, so 5080 is not in, and just to be selling, try to see if I can find one more. 5143. That's our Intel as it's getting up there, so it might get me short, and then it just has to come in, right? Yeah. Is that asking too much? Probably, unless it isn't. Time to watch it here though, because if it comes off, I'm gonna have to punt here. All right, so watching, I'll come back. I'll come back to it fairly quickly. Definitely will. Okay, and I see GEV. What did I say? I said, is it going to get me short and pull back in? All right, so what do I see here? It's got me short 694.16. All right, just small. I don't trade huge here with this stock because I know how much it can move. All right, and just put in my 703 offer there, and I'm going to put the other one in. I put a 714. Send, put 714 in there as well. Okay, so I have a position on, and I have a couple of offers in there. So I'm short a little bit of GEV. Okay, which is defying gravity. And what do we have with the Intel? And came in some, unfortunately got close, didn't quite get there. So I just canceled my 49.54. Okay, so that's canceled. All right. So two decent calls in Intel and Micron that thanks for playing, close but no cigar kind of things. All right, Micron, still have the 382.12 out there, so still some hope in Mudville. We'll see what happens there. I want to stop and take a look at RGC, which is trading 25, I see. So that's pulling in. I didn't price it out, but I will do. Not going to put anything in, but I'm thinking lower. I'm thinking like 1650 and then down $1. But for small, because I didn't price it out, I'll do smaller. I do a fifth of my size, fifth of my normal size there. Okay. So I just put in 1650 there. So I'm 1650 for RGC, which is where it was consolidating before it took off. So, and I probably can't borrow it. I'm not looking to short it, but I just figured I would mention it because I was looking at the stocks that are down. All right. And I should be going to QBTS now too. And my other quantum computing stocks, I see that's pretty big mover down this morning. Okay. So we see it trading 2642. And I got to flip to what I said here. Okay, so I said 24.45, but eyes are on it. QBTS, Rigetti, just note. So I like having it in front of me. I like have things handy because I follow so many stocks. Just have a note there on the side. Also helps me keep track of stuff when I'm doing stuff on my phone, when I'm talking, because I'm talking to you guys and using this laptop to do this stuff. All right, Rigetti, we see pulling in too. Okay, Rigetti, I'm also couple of bucks away still, but this stuff has my attention. Again, these guys are capable of making big moves here. Ion Q. All right, not quite as big a move there. Okay. Looking at run. Okay, which I did earlier. I did put in 1634. It's been low as low as 1670. So good opportunity there, I think. I think. And I just took after GEV pounced, pushed up so high there. Okay, you see the way it pushed up. I was uncomfortable there. Okay, so I just picked it up. 691.79. I just picked it up there. Okay. All right. So I covered that. I'm still up at 704, but it was not within my comfort zone there. Okay. Was not. All right. I did not like what I saw there with it pushing rather easily through 690. To me, it looks like it's going to work higher. Could I be wrong? Of course. But again, what do I do? What does Jim normally do? I like to get on the board. So even if it's something small, I got on the board, and it got through me to like 3 points and change, which ain't that big in GEV, almost 4 points there, but not that big. But for now, I'm okay. I'm okay getting out of it, and I want to see, do we have something CEG change in character? It's still going sideways, so maybe there's a trade here just below. What really annoyed me on Friday was it came all the way into 300 and change, and I was 299 something for it that day. So it came all the way in, then bounced 7 points into the end of the day, and that really grinded my gears there. What can I say? But have to be cognizant of what's going on here because it's doing some sideways and GEV's pushing. So does Constellation Energy get going too? All right, so that's what I want to be thinking there, and I still have short out over 700, a little over, just over 703 in GEV, but comfort level wasn't there, even though I was barely in it. Even was in it only for a short amount of time. Remember, time is risk. So made a little bit, got out, and I'm okay with that today. I'm okay with that. Meantime, Intel, had to pull it. Still hasn't quite gotten to that other level yet. All right, I have a 50-17 offer in there to short it as relative strength play. It almost got there. Then it had that pull in tail there. All right, so got me to cancel my offer. And actually still hasn't gotten there. It got a little bit closer, but still hasn't quite gotten there. Just looking at my list here. AMD doing anything worthwhile this morning? I hope I priced out AMD this morning. Did I? I missed that? Oh, that's not good. I skipped AMD. I forgot about AMD and made a move up, making a move back up. I will have to price it. If I see it get up around 240 or so, I will definitely start to think short side, but I forgot it. That's what happened. Hey, we make errors. Remember, I forgot Micron last week or something like that in Pure Storage. Speaking of Pure Storage, let's check it out because that's a mover. I like that. I drink my cold coffee. Kind of gross. All right, so started to get back. I said I'm at 74 something to short it. So we see it come back, and we're a little over a half hour in. Okay, so it seems like there's a lot going on, but I only have one trade done, even though the Dow's down 700 and almost 1.5%. NASDAQ similar, almost 1.5%. S&P is only down 0.6%. Bitcoin 90,356. And if we look at strategy, do we see a correlation there? And again, as I say many times, don't get the moves here well enough. I was talking to a friend last night over a cocktail, and he said he follows the stocks that go along with Bitcoin and other cryptos. And he said he's doing well in them. I said, good for you, John. Really happy for you. I don't get them. All right. So I'm not playing them, but I just like to keep everybody abreast of what's going on here. So we see that. We go back to this RGC to see if it's going to be anything. It would have to come in a heck of a lot for me to get involved there. I said I put in 1650, and a fifth of my normal size just to do that. And I do cut size here too, by the way, versus what I would normally be trading. And if it was my regular thing of a stock trading around here, I cut back because it's a little bit crazy there. I want to go back to run and see where we're at here because I am 1634 for it. And that's the only one I have in. Then I'd be 1596 rather, and 1560. Still sticking around down there. Is it going to try to reverse it, or are we going to see a continuation lower as it's consolidating here? So checking that out. Should go back to Micron, which regrettably I missed that first trade and hasn't been as backed off now too. And actually, it got to 381.53, and I just canceled my 382.12 because it got up there. All right, I still have 384.48 there. So there are okay calls, but just not good enough. Not good enough. I went with the numbers I had and just did not work out. Same thing with Intel, did not work out as of yet. All right. I came out of the GEV because comfort zone. If you're not comfortable with a trade, nothing wrong with getting out of it. Okay. You're like, oh, I should give it a chance. Don't be, we talk about in hoops a lot of times playing hero ball. Let's talk about stocks, and we don't have to play hero ball here. We don't have to be a hero here. If something is not, shaping up the way we want it to, get out. All right. Really. All right. Can't be a nervous Nelly with these things. You got to be either tuned into it or just not there. And I'm looking at CEG. Remember, we were looking at consolidation in CEG. And if anything, I was thinking maybe a smaller trade right around 300, just under that. Well, guess what? Here it is sticking its neck out up to 305. If I do see a pullback down here, I'll reevaluate because it did do a lot of work there. Remember, I said I was pissed off about that. And 300 might be a number here. Okay, looking like it might be. But does it expand to 310 and get range bound there? All right, because it did do a lot of work between 300 and 310 and hung right around 310 there. All right, so a lot of conjecture on my part right now, but could find a trade. All right, so just thought I'd mention that. All right, let's get back to the stocks that were in the news this morning. NVIDIA was just there, just in general, because it was down and leading techs down, and most of the techs down. So looking at NVIDIA still hanging out around 980 or so. JB Hunt going to right here. Earnings day, but not moving. Okay. What can you do? You got to plot on movement. MU making a purchase of, I think, a chip maker. Made a new high, just missed my short. It's pulled in a little bit, but still strong, still an exception here. Okay, going, makes me think AMD, so I want to shift there real fast. Okay, so pushing higher. I neglected to price it out. My bad. But again, if I see it heading up toward 240, I got a plot where I want to short it. Not really sure yet right now. Definitely north of 240, but not really short. Not sure where yet. 3M on the earnings had been kind of quiet and still negative, but not really a mover. $5 worth of range, so not moving a hell of a lot. DHI we saw coming back. Also had earnings. But it got back to flat, and it's given up some ground here. Okay, little couple of down candles in a row there. So giving up some ground. First move up had caught my attention there. Fastenal hadn't been doing much. Checking here. Waiting on it. Holy cow, waiting on it. Eek. All right. Heading a little bit south there. I have it 37.37 for it. So still pretty far away there. Not a particularly big mover. What was the range? It was 80 cents worth of range on Friday. So moving a little bit more, but not a heck of a lot. Lulu, I think we saw coming back, right? Last we checked, it was right around 200. What do we got? Okay, got up to 201 now, giving it away now. The two banks was looking at JP Morgan on the news that was being sued. Creeping back a little, back up around 308. Okay, USB on the earnings. Excuse me, didn't see a big move there. Drinking coffee and I'm still yawning. I'm kind of chilly. Some sweatpants on a sweatshirt, but still pretty chilly. Like to say I made it through the whole football game last night, but didn't. Congratulations to Indiana. Good to see somebody different win. And they were the most, undefeated, tremendous record. Good for them. Like I said, congrats. Relative strength shorts. We looked at the Intel on Intel. Again, I'm being punny. Maybe not enough coffee, too much coffee. And again, it was just a miss and would have been happy. It would have been nice to, pick up 40 cents or so. Would have been fine. That's a, halfway decent move in Intel here, especially when you see it consolidating here, because I'd be thinking consolidating, not pulling back in, means we might be looking higher here, going sideways, and like here we go, start to launch off of this. But I'm not going to look to go long here. I do have a short up at 50.17, which is again a buck away now, but will be good for another 50 minutes or so there. It's a relative strength short. AI has just been coming in slowly there. And did it make a new low there? Is that a new low? Yeah, it did. 12.35 is a new low. I'm thinking 11.45 for it. That's good all day. That's my initial purchase price there. On the AI stocks, it's just not really participating as much as the other names it had, in the past, but not so much. The voice is still a little bit off here, but getting better. I can actually use it. I had 2 days where it just was no bueno there, just not good. So I tried not to talk that much, but get me talking about the market and rut-row. But I tried to curtail that as much as I could. Palantir not doing much either way. And Run, we saw, much better long side, much closer there to purchase it. Has recently made a new low, and I'm 16.34. So again, I'm sitting about 45 cents or so away from buying it, but that one is good. That piece is good all day. Let's go back to GEV now. Okay, it's still pretty much hanging out up around here. Is it going to take off? I would love to see a nice little move to where I have a short 703.06. See it rocket through, nice little head fake up to 700, pop through like it's going to go higher, and then pull back into like 695. Will it happen? I don't know. I'm thinking that because I do have a 703.06 out there, and I did put the 714.63 out as well. Had that. The only trade I've done today is that one small short where I made essentially $2 there. So, which is no huge trade, obviously, in GEV. CEG we saw taking off, and I was thinking maybe a smaller long back around just under 300, but it looks like that ship has sailed. See what happens up around 310 as far as where I would short it. I'm thinking up 325 up there for a regular short there and purchasing it way the heck down 275. But I'm thinking there might be a trade here. Okay. Really thinking, or if you play a breakout, I mean, it might be looking for a breakout here, just from here from the 308s or 310 or something like that. Look for a push through, look for a move up to 314, 315, that kind of thing. I'm not going to look to do that. If anything, if I pick it up, I do smaller size and do just south of 300. All right. I want to look at Charter because it made another new low. Since then, it made another new low. All right, not by a heck of a lot. Charter, I'm thinking 179.22, and it's got my attention. All right, I want to make a note of Charter. Okay, Core Weave, I think we saw was bouncing. Yeah, so it's coming back a bit. All right, so been as low as 90, 93 and change, low 93s. Now coming toward the highs of the day, big gap to fill. Looking at that, looking across there. Is it going to fail here? Is it going to get into a range here? Is it going to stick in this range here? Okay, tune in later. We'll see. So we see where we're at as far as that stuff goes. I want to see more here. Is this a breakout trade? I mean, you could see $4 here, $3.5 here rather on a breakout. Not normally my my gig, but just thought I'd mention it. Carvana, not a lot. Overall range, 12 points or so, somewhat closer to the high. I always play it bigger. I want to see First Solar because I haven't looked at it in a while. Did I hit the R? Yeah, I hit the R. Okay. A whole lot of right? Not great range after poor range the other day. So that is what it is. Let's go back to our quantum stocks because we were seeing a bit of a down move there. So down a little bit more. So our QBTS under 26, now a bit above that. And I'm still away here, but they do have my attention because it could be a good move day, big move day. All right, Rigetti, I am away there too, bouncing. They normally act in sync. We rarely see some kind of thing that's off as far as them. Okay, Ion Q back toward the top of the range there. Okay. As we're 45 minutes into the day with 45 minutes left with me, I want to look at Tesla and then look at Rivian. So I feel a little bit off as far as voice goes, but I'm doing okay. I'll get there. Not a big move in Tesla. Looking for a lot more of a move both ways. So not really seeing that. Let's look Rivian. Okay, a lot of sideways. I said 1468 for Rivian. Hasn't got close. I mean, has been south of 16, but not a big mover this morning. And just flipping back to my list here. And still up, but really giving it up now is Micron. Okay. So made the new high, sliding off. As far as a purchase here, I'm thinking way the heck down 335. So way down bottom of the chart here, filling in Friday's gap. All right. But could be some kind of trade here, some kind of smaller trade in here. All right. Let's see if it gets back down into here. All right. After it made that fast move up this morning in the first half hour to make a new high. All right. And not quite get me short at a couple of prices. Okay. Bummer. All right. And, in hindsight here, obviously my 380.23 would have looked pretty damn good, right? But it did go higher. It did push through that, by a buck and change, but now it's really given up. So we just deal. That's all. That's okay. Intel, out of the stocks I follow, Intel's up the most right now, almost 5%. Again, that was another close to being, had it as a relative strength short, got close, not quite. And here we go. Remember, I said pushing through, and it could be a setup for a trade. And looks like it will get higher. And I want that. I want to get short just above 50 because I do have that out there. So continuing, obviously, to follow that. Flip side here, run has my full attention now because continues to pull in. Okay, and again, I'm 1634 for it. So getting closer, but here it's bouncing a little bit. Getting close, leaving my bid in there, even though it got within 15 cents or so. Still sticking with that. All right, other guys down. We just talked about QBTS and the other quantum guys, but they're like leaders as far as being down there. I did not follow Solar Edge this morning. Taking a look there, and I'm drinking coffee and I'm trying to. I can't believe how hungry I am this morning. I had some like special K bar or something like that. It was maybe 100 calories. I don't know, but had kind of a ridiculous sandwich last night that another friend turned me on to, and it was kind of like a burger, but it was a chicken cutlet for a bun, chicken cutlet on top, chicken cutlet in the middle. Picture a Big Mac with two patties, but three chicken cutlets that served as buns. So had half of that. I have half of that for later on today. Hopefully it travels well. Hopefully it like reheats up pretty good, but not exactly a healthy dinner, but pretty darn tasty. Just gonna go with tasty and stick with that. And I would give it a thumbs up and I would try it again. All right. Won't tell you exactly where I got it, but it's not a commercial spot, but it was good. Anyway, segueing from that, you see Solar Edge there, and I see Run kind of bouncing, but I'm leaving my bid in. Still have 1634 in there. Haven't put anything else in. Okay, just a heads up as far as that goes. Let's go back to the stocks where we have in the news this morning. NVIDIA. And actually, after NVIDIA, I want to go to IBM because it's getting kind of interesting for me. NVIDIA is still hanging around there, but now going to IBM because I might have to do something here. Just want to head back to where I was here. Okay, let me see IBM here. Okay. Just put in my 290.26 here. Okay, making a note here. 290.26 bid. Okay, as we see it pulling down, it's just a little bit above 293 here. All right, so I'm still a bit away, but I don't want to miss out on it. Okay, I should find a couple more prices here. So steady move, big down candle, got it through 300. Haven't seen much of a rally yet. Any rally, actually, I should go with there. So I'm 290.26 for it. I'm going to say 288, not putting them in, but 288.51. Just so I have it as an easy reference, and 286.79. Okay, so I'm 290.26 for it for an initial purchase there. And then the other guys lower, 288.51, 286.79, but those guys aren't in. And speaking of first bounces, here comes our first bounce. Okay, so be it, right? What can I say? JB Hunt on the earnings this morning. We haven't seen a big move here. Okay, staying up to date, keeping track here. Because why? Because that's what we do. All right, it's work. Grind out, try to find some trades here. I mentioned some. Haven't looked to do anything yet, but thinking about it, Micron, we saw kind of giving it up. What do we got now? Okay, back over 370 after it looked like it was heading south, and now back under. Okay, hanging around here. Maybe we'll see a consolidation here. Maybe we'll find a trade here. Not as yet. Okay, not as yet. Triple M. Oh my, excuse me, guys. Excuse me. Trying to stay caffeinated, but I guess it ain't working out. Okay, kind of gave up the 160 after hanging there for a bit. I'm pretty far away still. I don't know if I'm going to get that move, but I'm basically saying just under 145. DH Horton, DHI. Started out making a nice move up. Then last we saw was rolling over. Waiting on it here. Still waiting on it. Let's say hello McFly or something like that, because Back to the Future was just on recently. When I say recently, well, a couple weeks ago. Kind of consolidation here after it went positive. Started out $1.50 below 150. So halfway decent range. Nothing particularly close for me there, though. FAST, fast and all. Also, earnings situation. Kind of the lower part of the range. I'm still a good ways away there, though. Lululemon had flirted with 200, but then seemed like it was giving it up a little bit. But here it comes back toward there. And JP Morgan and US Bancorp. JP Morgan, okay. New highs. Filling again to short. I would say where did I say short of 321.87? So way the heck up here. Okay, but here we see 310. So pretty good move back as it basically fills or just about fills. USB. Not a great move. We're only following it because it's an earnings day. All right, so you're trading 55. Okay. Pushing to new highs. I'm way the heck up at 50, over 58 to short it, but again, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Not even an hour into the day, and the range seems like it's more than it is, but it's not. But it's making new highs. Okay. Excuse me again, and we'll continue to follow. Why? Because that's what we do. We follow. Keep track of what's going on. Okay, I see now. Looking at my stocks that are up, I see Intel up now 5.6%. Ken, we were just talking about last time we looked, is this it breaking out? I said, I hope it's breaking out because I want to see it do that because I want to get short up over 50. I want to get short at 50.17. All right. So hang on, I'm just putting in. Okay, I put in my 50.80 short too. All right, and I still have another. I saw 51.43, and I can go higher. I can use higher, but anyway. So this is reasoning here. Consolidated. Hadn't traded my initial level 49.54, but this time it does, and it pushes higher. Okay, that's why I canceled it. Okay, typically that's it works like that. If it doesn't quite get there, guess what? Next time it's going higher. Okay, and it's proven itself this time. Back to GEV and Constellation Energy. GEV right back up on the highs. All right, I do have a short out there, 703.06. I have it there. There it is on my screen, and here it is. My lousy handwriting there too, but I still have that out there. Again, would love to see it rocket through and then pull back down, which it does sometimes. That'd be a best case scenario for me there. CEG. Okay, rolling. So it did not quite get up to 310. So it's got like the middle of that range now. And I'm really considering doing something down here. I don't have anything yet in there yet. I would be thinking just a little under the 299 number would definitely get my attention there. And that was a decent trade there from right around here, 302 or so. I said with GEV pushing out, we saw that, $4 or so. So that was a good play. If you decide to play that, that was a good play. And I want to go back to GEV because I see 700 in its future. Checking back. Here it is on the cusp there, very much so. Okay, I'm trading 700. Kind of interesting. Micron. Continuing down. All right, so I don't know if we're going to come across it, in our time period because we got a little more than a half hour left here. But as we get a fill, do I want to do something? Do I want to do something? All right, I'm going to continue to watch it. All right. And there are times too, remember, it looked like it would continue here, but reversed. So again, we'll continue to have eyes on it there. I had Palantir as a morning short up at 175.62. Checking back on it. So I'm sitting here. I should be moving my feet around or something like that. Maybe I need a platform kind of desk where I can move around more and keep myself warm. It's pretty chilly here. It's going to be ridiculously cold here on Sunday. The low on Sunday is going to be minus 11. All right, you guys think about that. Minus 11. All right, I'm not talking about with wind chill or something like that. All right, minus 11. Thank you very much. All right. Do I want to go outside that day? Are you flipping kidding me? No, not a chance. All right, maybe I'll walk around with a blanket on. I don't know. But Burr. Okay, back to GEV real fast because it did in fact trade 700. Okay, I would like to see a little bit bigger candle here. I would like to see this, in fact, traded 701. I'd like to see it get up to my 703 here and get me short. Okay, and then pull in. All right, pretty please. We'll see, but was nervous about it here. We'll see how that enacts. We'll see how quick a trigger finger I have as far as if in fact I get that 703 short. Okay, we'll see. If it spends a lot of time sideways here, I might have to pull it because it can have big candles. Only one really big candle this morning, but the range has been good. Look at the range on the day is $37. Okay, so that's the kind of moves it can make, and want to revisit CEG because these are the most happening things I have going on right now. So I want to take a look here, and we're getting a bit of a consolidation here. Again, I said it didn't quite make 310, but that's what we're getting. Remember, I did not price out that AMD, but a couple of good candles heading toward 240. Where do I want to be if I do in fact short it? I'm thinking like 245. I'm going to go just put in actually a smaller piece, but I put in 245.25, just making the note here as well, just to have something in there. And I went smaller size. I went a quarter of my size because I did not price it out. I don't have it off my sheet, so I feel it necessary to go with less here. As the same I would is the CEG trade. If I look to get long under 300, I'll do smaller because it's not one of my scripted trades. Scripted trades, I'll do the planned size, and I'll do less. I'll do like quarter or fifth size on on trades like the one I just mentioned. We see anything in this RGC? Should look at the volume too. Nah, some sideways. What's that volume there? Peeking at the volume, 130,000. So not great volume there. Okay, I did not price out Sarepta, but I'm curious. Waiting on it here as we've got a half hour left here. Okay, Sarepta kind of started out down. It didn't have great range on Friday, so I chose not to price it out, and it's not moving a heck of a lot. Where was I going to? Oh, I was going to go to Rocket because it had been looking down, and I think last time we looked, excuse me a second, blow my nose a little bit. All right, so it kind of came back and not moving, not a huge move there either. Just got to call it what it is most of the time. All right, back to GEV. And I said it traded 701. It's still hanging there. All right, I'm staying. I'm for now. I'm leaving my 703 and change offer in there, 703.06 offer in there. Okay, but keeping track. And again, a bummer, but that's right. Sometimes we hit, sometimes we don't hit. Okay, so I like cool quotes. So two ones one I always liked from John Wooden. Think Wooden Award. Think UCLA coach. Thing I try to stick with was failing to prepare is preparing to fail, and that one I have down. It's like it's things I mentioned when I do courses and stuff, and I came across this one yesterday, and I really loved it, and hopefully you guys will love it too because it's something that resounds here. Because remember, at times I talk about, I was lucky there that I got it better than my limit because I didn't see it in time or something like that. But this sounds good to me, in that I'll just give you the quote: "Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity." So again, that's luck is what happens when preparation again meets opportunity. All right. So we're focused, we're ready, and things go, things happen to go our way. We get the opportunity. Boom, we're there. We're taking advantage of it. So love that quote as well. So put it in my little list there so I won't forget, me and my advanced years here. Not advanced maturity, just advanced years. All right. By the way, it's still 9 degrees. Although I'm like looking out the window, it's not windy. All right, so that's good, I guess. And I mentioned you guys lows. I mentioned Sunday's low. P.S. I'm just looking at my weather on my phone. Saturday's low is -14. Okay, insane, -14. All right, I'm in Vermont. I'm not in Alaska, for goodness sake. And I know. Shut up and deal, Jim. All right, we'll go back to Brooklyn. What the heck? Go back to Brooklyn for a bit. Anyway. I'm just going to go back to the list here and see where we're at. I want to go to Intel because it just made a new high. And it's kind of creeping and getting closer, though. All right. I'm only 18 cents away from getting my short off. Okay. Now closer. All right. Still there. Hopefully I actually get this one. All right. It doesn't run me over. And after that, I'm at 50.80. Okay. So here we are right on the cusp, for goodness sakes. And I got it. Cool, guys. Cool, guys. Actually got something. All right. So I got that piece for now. Anyway, other back to AMD. So we'll give a little bit. We'll see what happens if it actually pulls in. Let me make some money this morning. AMD still pushing higher, and I said I put in 245.25. All right, has made a nice move. I mean, look at this move. $12 and change. With only one little pullback from within the first half hour. Then it got going again. It has been going. Okay, so impressive in a market where we're down. We've improved. I mean, the Dow's only down 0.9% now, and the S&P is coming close to flat. And the Nasdaq is only down 1.1%. So we've bounced, and we've seen some of these names bounce. Exception being Micron, which is still pulling in. So I'm thinking maybe trade. Okay, still thinking maybe trade again. Maybe not within our time period, but looking at stuff, looking at levels here, I could see just south of 360 here, somewhere in the either high in the high, lower 359s, high 358s. Let's say, okay, because there was work done there and might serve as support. So if I was doing, I'd do it there. And again, like I said, I do it less there. Just thought I'd mention. Okay, back to GEV. Okay, and we see didn't quite get there. All right, so traded the 701, pulled back in, and I gotta pull my 703. Just canceled it because next move, no, next move, because the way it can push through there. All right, I don't need to see it do it. Did the 701 thing. The 700 thing was a head fake as it pulls back in towards 690. Makes me think, wonder about 690 here, because it pretty much held that. All right, so makes me think about that a little bit, but for now, I'm going to hold on that. All right, so the only thing I have out there in GEV is 714.63, which is a large way away now, but the way the stock moves can be there pretty fast. Okay, Constellation Energy CEG coming back here now, heading back up toward the highs. Does it want to flirt with 310 here? That could very well happen. So we'll see what happens with that. Continue to keep eyes on that, of course. Flip side here, remember I have Sunrun there. Was getting close. Okay, still in this game here, and I will be in it all day. But 1649 was close, but I not close enough for me to pull my 1634 bid, so I'm still there. After that, I'm lower. I'm just below 16. I'm 1596. Then I'm 1560. Those guys I don't have in yet. But remembering last week when I had a couple of close shorts in Sunrun, I remember those darn things. But you say good call, but again, if you don't get executed, it doesn't mean a heck of a lot, really. Back to our quantum stocks, which have been movers on the downside, but we see a half hour or so of a bounce back as we're down to 20 minutes or so left in our morning. I call it our morning trading period because it's the end of my relative strength trades. Okay, so we see QBTS there making a move back. We'll probably see Rigetti and INQ also making the same sort of move. Yeah, we see Rigetti there heading back up toward the highs of the day, even though it's still down. INQ was never down as much percentage-wise as the other guys, and is filling in. It didn't come in that much and filling in less, but new high for the day, only down 60 cents or so on the day. So these guys are definitely, INQ is definitely getting my attention. The other guys somewhat too. Okay. I want to go back to the IBM trade. Okay. And we see it definitely still is plausible here. Okay. I put in the 290.26. Hang on. I just put in the 288.51 as well. Okay. So I put that in. All right. So I'm 290.26 and 288.51. And those guys are good all day. After that, I have 286.79, which I don't have in yet. All right. But this is the lowest I've seen IBM in quite a while. So that's going to get interesting. I can get some kind of execution there. Going back, remember, got short Intel a few minutes ago. And so far here, we haven't seen anything. It hasn't. It's just still hanging out there. Okay, back to AMD, which is continuing up. Okay, heading to 240. Remember, I said 245.25 for my first short. From there, I'd go up about, excuse me, because I didn't price it out, so I'm looking to do less shares, and I'd go up like a buck 50 a trade. So after that, I'd be thinking 246.75, 248.25, etc. So up a buck 50 there. Okay, I make a note for my own sake what I'm talking about there. So not looking to pick it up as long. Didn't really see. We didn't get consolidations here as it went up where I could find a trade there. Doesn't mean I wouldn't look to do that. Maybe with a 240 number or something like that. If we get some sideways stuff, look for some continuation. Look for some kind of breakout. Maybe. All right. I say maybe there. Okay. And just took back. I want to go back to Intel because I haven't done much. All right, because I haven't done much. I just took back Intel right here, just so you all know. Okay, 49.92. I just took it back because I want to get it. I want to start the week out okay. All right, because we're already missed part of the week. All right, so I took it back. I said 40. I took it back for a bit of a profit there, just to take something off. I mean, to start the week because we missed yesterday. We had the Martin Luther King holiday and 4-day trading week. Couple of profitable trades. Like the other one was no big deal. What the GEV was $2. This one was 25 cents or so in Intel. Yeah, 25 cents. All right, yeah, 25 cents in Intel, and it's pulling in. So it's a particularly great trade. Should I have been more patient? Yes, but I'm telling you, mindset is I want to have a few profitable trades this morning. Okay, so that's why I did that. Now, of course, I look like crap, Peru, but that's okay. Back to GEV. Did I do the right thing here in canceling the 703? I think so because what I've seen before, what I've seen before in potential big candles with his stocks. So just trusting my instincts here, okay, and trying to be smart about it, okay. I do see this RGC pulling in. Okay, down near the lows, and I said I'm way the heck down to where it consolidated. I said 1650, and even then I'm doing less. And I do want to mention that this Intel is lower. So guess what? In my eagerness to make a few bucks this morning, that's definitely a crappy trade because I could have had as a 50-cent trade, it would have been a lot better, more than that. So should have been a little bit tougher there. Okay, so I've been quick on the gun this morning, and in this case, it definitely failed me. All right, so it definitely failed me. Hopefully, if you guys were short, you were braver and smarter than me. Okay, in this case, and sometimes in Intel, I'm just like that. I just trade it like crap because it can come in like this, and it's coming in. What can I say? All right, I'm not going to lament it for a super long time here. Okay, I'll go back through some of our stuff from some of our news stuff here as we're getting a little closer within 15 minutes of the morning trading session ending, and I'll be with you guys. Voice, my voice is okay. I can deal this week. I was kind of a wimp for missing Thursday and Friday. I should have toughed it out, but it was getting no voice and kind of sore too. So that kind of stunk. But I did miss you guys and miss the conversation because I like this. I like chatting. It helps my trading too. It helps with stuff. Anyway, Nvidia we see coming back a bit and a little bit of consolidation. Not, I always say, got to keep an eye on it, but it doesn't move a heck of a lot, really. So what are you going to do? You got to keep track of what it's doing as I mess up JB Hunt here. But got to keep eyes on what goes on here. All right. JB Hunt, nothing nothing to talk about there. We saw Micron actually giving up, right? Giving up some. Am I closer to where I said I was going to do a trade? No, no. All right. So we get a little bit of a bounce. Remember, I said, bear in mind here, I said, I will look to do a long. I didn't put an order in, but I will look to get long here. Let's just say high 358s. Okay. I think that's an acceptable place for an entry with less size here, but now it's $10 away. Okay. Was looking better, looking more likely, here when it's 364, but it's bounced $5. Okay. So not great, not great as far as the stars are lining up in Micron, first on the short side and then potential long. So that's not working out. 3M coming in slowly. Okay, kind of eyes on. All right. Way the heck away. Like I said, I'm right just below 145 there. So pretty far away. DHI also earnings. TH Horton. Okay, back to almost flat again. It's just down 50 cents or so. I'm not close though. Not close to where again I price things out farther the normal ranges on an earnings day just because things can move like that. All right. And Fastenal, same thing, not a mover. I'm just following it today, just specifically for today because it has earnings, but it's not moving much. Lululemon, we weren't really close either. This can be a mover. Got to plan on big moves here, but apparently I hit the wrong thing. Hit an I there too. Okay, still kind of hanging the 200 number there. All right, and the two bank stocks, JP Morgan, because Trump's suing them, was in the news after they just had earnings last week. Made the move back, makes the fill. Okay. Anything I want to do here? Now, I look to short it up way the heck up 321 and change. So not looking there. U.S. Bancorp. With the earnings this morning. Waiting. Made, this is a nice move back from this morning. First half hour, nice move, pulls in a bit. Back in the game. Okay. Not a big move as far as range goes. That's why I'm playing it up higher. I'm at 58.27. It's probably not getting there. But I don't follow the stock. I don't know the stock well. If I don't know where it's going, I'm not going to be super aggressive there. Okay, so I don't do that. All right, I'm careful about it on purpose. All right, and with 10 minutes left here, I want to review things, my thinking about things in general. Remember, I talked earlier about this screen about charts in general. I mean, I use this chart so I can stream to you guys, but charts in general, I like 5-minute charts and I like clean charts. That's just me, so I can draw my own conclusions here. All right, that helps. Everything, I talked about preparation before. I'm ready to go. My stuff is scripted in the morning. My pricing is pretty much set. I made some adjustments early this morning when we first talked about what was going on because I saw some price movement there. So it's all keyed on that. It's all keyed on the way the stock normally moves, where it went out, where it's looking this morning, where the overall market's looking this morning. Those all factor into my pricing decisions. All right. And I'm going off a spreadsheet where I have 30 or so prices long and short. So gives me a lot of opportunity to figure out where I want to be and also where I want to segment in. I'm not going to overcommit all my planned capital in a trade on the first piece. All right. So I'm using a set amount, pretty much a set number of what the final amount I want to get long or short, and dividing it into 3 pieces or 4 pieces, and that is my trade. All right. And if just one piece works out or one piece is like, it's time to get out of because it hasn't done what I thought it would do, that's fine. All right. That's absolutely fine. I also don't like using fixed stops. I like using time and following what's going on and see how the stock is acting relative to the market. All right. If in fact it does act that way, or if it just kind of does its own thing. I mean, you got to keep in mind that certain stocks just do what they want to do, contrary to what the overall market does. All right. So that's pretty much my spiel here. And again, I say, like, you can reach me on the Telegraph chat there, or you can reach me at jgre910@gmail.com if you have a specific question about any kind of stuff like that. And that's jgre910@gmail.com. Okay, going back to stocks here. All right, I'm going back to Intel because I want to point out what a crappy trade I made here just in the interest of taking some profit. Okay. All right. So I should be learning here. All right. I see this. I should have been more patient. Okay. Remember, I said time. Was happy to take a little bit of a profit here, and just stupid on my part in this case. All right. A little more patience. I'm more likely to give it 15 minutes or so. And here it would still be coming in. All right. Should have waited for some consolidation here, and I did not. Okay. So taking this as a learning opportunity for myself. Hopefully, you guys take it as a learning opportunity as well. All right. And focus on not making the same mistake again. All right. Okay. So profitable trade, but a bad trade. Okay. We can make a profitable trade and make a bad trade. We can lose money and make a good trade, doing a good job trading out of it. All right. So want to focus on good trades, because more often than not, that is going to make you money. That is going to be what you want to be. All right. So just off of maybe the stock's going to consolidate here. Should I be thinking about picking up as a long? All right. I will give it a lot of consideration here. All right. We're going to be probably past our time, but doing a smaller trade, I probably do with Intel. I do like quarter size. If I see consolidation here, all right. If it gets down into here, all right, maybe pick something up just under 49. And I say maybe because I'm not sure about it yet. I got to see what happens. All right. But I just thought I'd bring that up. And I wanted to mention that it was a terrible trade on my part. Okay. But learning experience, move on. All right. Move on from there. Okay. I want to see what else we could hit up here. I see that AMD isn't quite where it was as we're getting close. We got 5 minutes left here with our morning session. Again, I think we got drip coming in fairly soon thereafter. All right, so got almost to 240. Remember, I said 240. I still have my 245.25 in there. Okay, retreating a bit now. Market sliding back down a little bit. Not a heck of a lot. And we really haven't rallied. I wasn't sure if we're going to get some big bounce back, and we really haven't seen that. All right, but again, a lot can happen today. We still have a good 5 hours worth of trading left. Or essentially, what for me, I say like 4.5, because around 3:30 or so, I pretty much stop, because last half hour, don't like rolling the dice there unless there's a real specific reason for me to initiate a position. Okay, it has to be a really good reason, or else not going to get involved at that point in time. All right, just want to say, all right. So Micron continues back. I had said, back down in here, like high 358s. Okay, but it's bounced $10. All right, so that's all right. I can deal with that. I see IonQ goes positive. Good move back off this consolidation. Didn't really see it happening there, but this was, broke through here fairly easily. Decent move up. More like commenting on the situation here. That guy didn't come in as much as these guys, but look at this nice move from Rigetti. Okay, and I expect we'll see the same from QBTS. Okay, yep, seeing that. All right, so those guys, I said they started to catch my attention. Now they definitely, first as they were coming in here, then when they started to move up, and now definitely as they move up some more. Okay, ranges are not awesome here, but get my attention. Funny thing, we really didn't look at Carvana much this morning, as we're within 2 minutes of finishing our morning session. Okay, so didn't look at Carvana, and even though I had 15 points worth of range, it didn't feel like a lot in Carvana because we didn't see many candles. There was nothing there to make me say, "Wow, look at that," But it doesn't mean it won't heat up later on. Okay, it doesn't mean it's not capable of that because it is Carvana. Okay, so we should be aware that it can make the move. Same thing with CoreWeave, kind of quiet morning here. Wait for it to pop out here. Here we go. Okay, so started with a gap down and then made a move back. Now it's sliding. Okay, I said I'm not close in CoreWeave this morning. I'm not close, and my bid is good for the day here. CoreWeave. I said 85, so I'm still a good $9 away there. Uh, 85 seemed like a big number to me there. It seems like it did some work there. All right, then eventually pushed through as it got up over 100 recently. Okay, now kind of with the market, it's come in today. All right, about a minute left. I want to go to Charter now too because it made a new low, and I think it was getting interesting for me. I remember seeing it. Okay, so it was getting interesting here. Did bounce back. All right, I'm still 179.22 for it as a first purchase. So did make a new low today. Did make a new 52-week low there. All right, so just that kind of has my attention as far as stuff goes with that. Uh, on the number here, okay, so we just hit the 11 number, so I'm going to say see you later, guys. If I see anything super interesting, I will put it out there on Telegram. Okay, so see anything super, and again, back to Intel because I made 25 cents instead of making a buck here. Okay, so learning a lesson, watching this consolidation. Like I said, this could be a long trade. All right, watching if it consolidates here and gets going again. Where would I give it? I don't know. Maybe this candle, the length of that candle, before I punted on it, or maybe I'd pick up some lots here. I don't know. Still speculate. I want to see some more work going out. Anyway, let me get out of here. Thank you for being around this morning, and I'll give it a drip. See you guys.
Thank you, Jim.